Asking is optional. And Mike Runner says David Mark Raymond here.
Starting right away. On the meeting.
That's dangerous, but ask President. Okay, Kathy Rogers, please come in, please.
Oh, wow. It's come back.
It's
Hmm?
the.
Oh, I'm good. I'm pretty. No. That's it. Oh, no. What's in you? What you eating?
Thank you, Kathleen. Hey, how about the song, Joe?
Oh, God, village.
Everybody know what yesterday was? Today's spring, right? You wouldn't know. They didn't call them, but that's okay. The sun is gonna come out eventually. They're gonna do a little more. Getting with the first. The other night here at I sleep, I decided in my arms when I was here. My sunshine. Take my sunshine home.
Okay, Wayne Britton, you have a thought for us? Yeah.
What in my blood? I'm right next to
Don't believe everything you
you.
think.
It's not what's called. Yeah,
Thank
that-
you. I won't believe everything I think.
oh, interesting.
Okay, our great Lori, thank you very much. And audio, Joe, Terry, Bob, thank you. The raffle and newsletter, Joe, I understand Nick is now taking over the newsletter. Thank you. And of course, everyone set up, take down, appreciate all of you for being here and taking care of this. Now, welcome our guests and visitors. I'd like to welcome my co-strong and assistant, Fiona and Amy.
And good begin again for how many times have you seen us?
At least 100. I didn't realize it took this long.
A lot of time to think about it.
Let me introduce Patricia Dignan
Yeah.
and Steve Levenberg.
Well, there, of course, and welcome, Jerry, welcome, I'm glad you're all here. Okay, it's time to mute all. And we have some partner birthdays coming up. Kathy.
It's a 1 month celebration always for Rich.
All month?
All
What do
month,
you do?
all month.
Month.
Me, I like to forget him. Oh, I have great dinners all the time, always be, yeah, there's lots of stuff. It's an ongoing celebration. Yes,
Yay. Okay, and Scott, do you get a whole month of celebration with Jane?
Well, it's celebrating all year long. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'm in trouble. I haven't gotten her a present yet. I mean, you know, what do you get for a woman you know that long? I'll get her. Oh, I'm open to suggestions.
Nice jewelry always works.
What's that?
Nice jewelry always works.
Problem is, you know how much money I don't have. If I spend too much, I get in trouble that way.
But you're such a creative guy.
Yeah.
Fire a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Okay. Linda Singh Hay, are you here? Think she's not on Zoom? It's her Rotary anniversary, 19 years. Oh. Yeah. So I wish she was here to tell you all about her exciting year as president too. That was a great year. Well, we have World Water Day today, and Rotary joins in with the WASH Rotary Action Group. And I have, Michael is going to tell us a bit about what we have been doing with water in Tanzania.
Yes.
Our Tanzania water project. And, yeah.
An actual video of the completed project. Always noting carefully the people doing the work in this experience. So they're the ones that benefit by having the water brought closer to their homes. Putting those buckets on their heads, not the area bucket full of clean water, but that's not allowed.
Haya, jitushe maji yako.
So once you go to the next one.
Safi.
So the pump that was provided to get the water out of the well was run by solar power. So they got solar panels up there. Here's partly when you had it partly hooked up. So there's a guy way up on a platform, there's a big tank behind it. That you'll see in a minute. So they're using the gravity feed to get the water out, and here he's just doing a trial run of filling buckets. And then on the right, there's spigots, so they have a more polished way of doing that. And our wonderful club's name is on this big tank. It's one of several tanks that they put up. There was another video showing them, because they don't have forklifts, right? So they built this big platform that's about 1.5 stories off the ground. Now they gotta get the tank on it. Yeah. So they're kind of a bunch of guys, you know, sort of started up there, and then they had these long poles that they wrote together in order to make a pole long enough, push it the rest of the way up on that platform. It was amazing. See that.
And what is this doing for the village, and what happened before and after? What was the difference in their lives that we made?
They don't have to, one, collect water from contaminated source, because part of the project was to filter the water, so that means that the kids get sick less often, and therefore they don't miss the middle days of school. So that's an important benefit for them. And they just celebrated probably for a month. Like, some people do their birthdays over here, but they coming on the water was a big occasion for this village. It was a big celebration.
When did we do this in Tanzania? I know we have another thing coming up to help, but when was this? This is a little while.
It just started last winter that we got the grant approved. And so they built it in pretty short order. So they built the cement blocks and everything and put the tanks up on and took pictures of the process of building this whole thing. So
My
Amazing
club
process.
participated in that. I see a lot of names. How many clubs were involved in the project?
Oh, we were one of the contributor clubs, so I don't know, but at least a dozen Rotary clubs. The lead international partners in Wisconsin, so it's. They were happy to involve us, but they were the ones driving the global grant along with the host club in Tanzania. There's some overlap there.
People may not think of this also, but the girls particularly couldn't go to school sometimes who were late because they had to go carry water. And now they don't need to, right?
Right, yeah, it's a lot shorter. So that's great.
So it helps with education as well as sanitation and makes their lives just a whole lot better. And that's what Rotary does. And when you make a donation to the Rotary Foundation, and that money comes back to us in 3 years, that we can support projects like this. Do you have any idea about how much the total cost on this was to us and to Rotary?
Yeah, I think the total project cost is on the order of $80,000. A bunch of clubs pooled their money to get the leverage to have the Rotary Foundation keep going. Well, that's good.
So that's where your money goes when you make a donation to our Rotary Foundation. It is just really hard to see. Thank you very much.
Are you getting more rhymes today?
Pardon?
Are you getting more rhymes today?
Work on that. Okay, yes, thank you. I'll work on that. Thank you very much.
Bangy, bangy, little later, you'll be cheap in 20 years.
Okay, well, we went whale watching. And we saw some. It was kind of at a distance and a few sprouts. It was chilly and cold, and to be honest. But it was a great time, and David put this together. And David, I'd like you to say a few words. I have some more slides here. I know you took pictures, and Anna was very, very good at sending back slides too. So here.
So there were 21 of us, and pictured here on the left, kind of an exciting, we had an exciting event, another exciting event. 2 new Ukrainian showed up. I got a call the night before. It's a student who is now at in the Twin Hill School District. Next year will go to Annalee. 14-year-old and his mother are being sponsored by a host parent who is in who works in at Annalee High School as an English teacher. So Mrs. Maxton? Yeah. Yeah, somebody who saw the flyer that I left there and called me up and said, hey, there's some Ukrainians here. You've got some Ukrainians, let's talk. So I've been interacting with them. I'm helping the mother now learn to drive a car that she was given to use. And it was the 14-year-old who got them over here. Here we are. Hey, Anthony, you're looking all noble and cool.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And there you are with your previous host sister and Haiku, or Heiju, who is from South Korea with the Rotary Club of Sebastopol. We went out on to keep moving through.
There is a picture of a very, only picture I got of a whale. There's a little bit of his back.
Yeah.
It's hard to get.
They're hard to catch on camera.
And there is Anna. And Anna came with a friend and a whole bunch of people were there. We just had a good time. It was beautiful. Lovely day too.
It was lovely, but as you can tell, it was lovely and chilly.
You were cold.
Yeah, yeah. And I wrapped up in 3 layers and it had 2 hats. So, yeah. I'm right there next to Anna. Okay, thank you very much, David. That was a great trip and appreciate it. Okay, there is another. There is, well, it's covered up by, it says Papa Charlie, but on the 20th, there is the, 20th through the 29th, we have the virtual festival. It's still going on, and I understand the In Live Festival was a great success. Okay, Brian Bauer has, on the 25th, memory of his father-in-law, and we are invited to celebrate his life from 3 to 5, and you've received the invitation, I know. Gus, yeah, his birthday's coming up, 90. We keep telling you about it. This is going to be fun on Thursday the 30th. Marnie is hosting us at her house, and you've received that invitation too, I'm sure. Looking forward to it. Want to say anything more?
Well, I mean, there's a lot to say. 90 years, a very short time to be considered. Could be a lot longer. But other than that, no, I think I appreciate that very much. You guys put the room that really doing your work done, as part of this house, on the house. Yes, why? I think it'd be great. I have my granddaughters from the body and the daughter, granddaughter, and her fiance.
Great.
So you get to be.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to the 100th and see what happens. Right. Okay. Thank you.
Reservations early.
I did want to tell you that Rotary is having there on April 1st, the district training assembly in Ukiah. And I'm driving up, and I know Linda's coming with me. We have $500 set aside pay for people to go. That means 10 of us can go. It's $50 each, and Rotary Club is footing the bill on that. So, Kathy.
So, it's great if you want to go the morning of, but there is, a dinner and an evening the night before, which I'll be there, and I'll be happy to introduce you to people, but let's get out of our comfort zone. Let's do something where we don't know everybody. It's so easy to be with fellow Rotarians. What club are you from? How big is your club? What do you do as a fundraiser? There are so many ways to create conversation. So if you're there, I'd love you to be there Friday night also. Thanks.
Can I get an idea of how many people are planning to come? That is 1, 2, 3,
I'll be
4,
calling people.
5. Okay, so we have at least 5. So if I know by 6,
4, including me.
you're coming.
Yes.
That's the same day as your party too. Oh, no, this is the next day party. Okay. Okay, you're still partying. No, this is for the district training assembly. So, if you let me know by Thursday, I will have, that's tomorrow. Yeah, shoot me an email or whatever, Thursday, Friday, I'll have a check cut so we can pay for it in full. It's, you should have received a, okay. Gotcha. Okay, Evan. Yeah, you should have received a invitation from the district. And
some people can't find the email balance to do another e-bike. Going forward, it's all personal to the person that gets the email to register.
okay, thank you very much, Kathy. Yeah, because also on the first, are cheers and beers from 2 to 6. Now, my plan is to go to the district training assembly and come back and go into Santa Rosa and wish us a second happy 90th. But that's right. Okay, that'll be the 3rd. Okay, very good. Well, that'll be on April 1st. And so I won't be able to be there at 2, but I'll be out there later. So that works. The new club on April 7th is having their fundraiser golf tournament. I know a lot of our people here are going, which is great. We like to support the new club too, as they support us. Do you have any announcement?
Really, you can't hear me? Okay. That's a first. My mother was deaf. I was screamed at as a child, talk louder. We're gonna be in the parade and we're gonna just do it with the noon club. So keep that in mind and we'll have more information, maybe costumes or whatever. And there was the fireside chat. I'll be reaching out to all the past presidents that are speaking for the topics. And thanks to Terry for the handout.
Great, thank you.
Speaking of the parade, for those who are interested in helping out, before the parade starts, we're going to be announcing again Saturday morning over at this corner around over here. And if you'd like to come and maybe help us announce, we can always use a couple of new folks to come in. Kathy, get it on your calendar. Let me talk this year. And it's a great time. You see all the floats come by. They think we're judges, so they give us stuff. Yeah, it's a great place to do.
Last night, so we have a dog, my son's girlfriend's dog, and he's very attached to this blind dog, 8 years old. And a couple of months ago, no one was there. He went out the cat door and got lost. Really traumatic. And last night we couldn't find him. It's raining. Buddy went out the cat door. 4 of us, the 3 of us and the neighbor were out there looking. And my son's crying. How are you going to tell that they're not? It's just like one of the most traumatic things in his life. That he could lose his girlfriend. So, and after more than half an hour, we going again. The dog was under the table. That's it. He didn't answer it. You know, many pleas and cries. Sorry, I'm sorry. But so I had an attitude of gratitude. That's only the foundation to feed dogs for a while.
That is something to be grateful. Oh, do we have anyone else who's feeling grateful today? Okay, well, that's a wonderful thing to be grateful for. Nice, warm, happy dog. Okay, well, coming up this afternoon, the volunteer at the Redwood Empire Food Bank. I'll be there. We'll be packaging food for the people that are less fortunate than ourselves. Then the 24th is the fireside chat. That's on Friday. Forward to that. On the 25th, from 3 to 5, celebration of Ryan Bauer's father-in-law. On the 30th, Gus turns 90 on the 30th. That's the day of his birth. Wow. And at Marnie's house. On April 1st, the district training assembly, please plan to come. I can give you a ride. I'm going in up in the morning. As much as I'd like to go up in the afternoon, the night before, I won't be able to. But Linda and I will be driving up together. And if you want to ride, let me know. Like I said, I'm planning on leaving before the last snack, you might say, at the very end of the meeting, so I can be back here. for Gus's 90th second birthday. He's really having a great celebration, 2 times. Wonderful. You must have absolutely a terrific family. Thank you. And next week, we have Dr. Kate, it's at Bybush, okay, for pet and health. And this week, we have Steve and Patricia from Ukraine Family Update.
Okay, so who has spoken with us before? Probably a couple years ago. Time for this.
You're very much out of COVID.
Tricia is attorney, she's a former city attorney for San Jose. She's lived in Sebastopol for 16 years, and she was a Peace Corps volunteer in Ukraine from 2017 to 2019. She's hosted a Ukrainian stage 2 right after that, and she's been on the board, she's a board member of Sebastopol Rural Friends for 4 years. Steve Levenberg is a family physician, now retired. He has been involved with Sebastopol Rural Friends since the early 2000s. And he and his daughters traveled to Japan, and they've hosted many students and adults from Japan and Ukraine. And they've also traveled to Ukraine. So that, there you guys go.
As soon as I get the slide, give me a minute. Okay. Charlie, we did,
And brand.
yeah.
And brand on. Say that. Victory.
You're saying the same thing.
Everyone. I think. So, being hired here from Sebastopol Rural Friends, as Marley said, I was here about a year ago when the war had just broke out. And I spoke not with slides or anything else, so hopefully it'll be a little tighter program. But I wanted to make sure, every time I look at these slides, 100 different stories come out, so I want to be very particular today. And today's story is about what Sebastopol World Friends has been doing in the past year during the war. And what we're going to be doing in the coming months until the war is over. Yes. I'm sorry, okay, here we go. So, first of all, Sebastopol World Friends, I'm sure the sign is familiar to you. We are the sister city organization for Sebastopol. We have 2 sister cities, Toledo, Japan, and Chitter in Ukraine. And we have been sister cities with Chitter for 30 years. We're celebrating our 30th anniversary this year, so we are like not just newcomers to the Canadian cause here. This is where Chikrin lies on the map. It's right in the center of Ukraine. Luckily, they have not had a lot of physical damage, not bombings or anything else. They're kind of far away from where the bombs can get. But they have been very impacted by internally displaced people from the south and the east, who are fleeing from the war. And they're a town of about 9,000 people, and they have about 2,000 refugees in their town. So big impacts. This is the sign welcoming you to Chikrin. To Chikrin in Cyrillic. So when the war, even before the war started, as you all remember, there were rumblings about Putin going to attack, and nobody believed it. We were concerned for our friends, and so we put together this show of support. This was probably last December, I believe. And we were working with the library to a peace flag project, because part of what we're trying to do is talk about raising money later, but we wanted to raise awareness and support for our sister city. And then the invasion happened. This picture was taken about a week after I spoke with you last year, when I was on my way to Poland. I had a Ukrainian exchange student, and she had escaped to Poland, and so I went there to meet her and her mom. And we brought all of these bags filled with drugs, over-the-counter drugs, to bring. At that point, we didn't know how to get it into Ukraine, so we brought them to the refugee center in Poland, in Warsaw, where we had a friend, the grown children of one of the founders of the Sebastopol sister city relationship within Warsaw, was able to help us in so many ways. And he was able to help my girl and her mom and other friends of ours that we'll talk about later, into Poland and then eventually to other places. My girl is now in Ireland. Excuse me, again, at the beginning, we were not really raising a lot of any money. We weren't thinking about that at that point, but we were bringing goods. So these are two other Sebastopol couples who brought donations of children's shoes. I'm sure some of you know Mariah Bo, who is now the director of Chamber. She was the executive director of Shoes for Kids, and she contacted us and said, I have 500 pairs of kids' shoes. I want them to go to Ukraine. So we found a way to do that by stuffing suitcases and flying to Warsaw. Oh, and this is on the other side. The woman in the middle is Ludmila Verfeld, who is the woman I was referring to, who was the founder of the Sebastopol Chikrin relationship. The woman on the left is her daughter-in-law, who lives in Poland. The woman on the right is our friend Stefana, who is now helping us spend the money that we are raising in Chikrin. And these are two little kids who got shoes. Another amazing thing, as I said, Mariah contacted us and said, I have these shoes, I want to give them. Came back, the Rialto Theater contacted us and said, we want to do a fundraiser. So this is when the money started coming in. When people were contacting us and said, we want to do something. Obviously that's with our prayer flags at the Apple Blossom Festival. We decided that we would be getting more out into the community with this cause. This was at the community market. There was a big fundraiser there. We had our Japanese taiko drummers there and Ukrainian dancers. These are traditionally friends of Sebastopol, were friends. They perform at most of our events, and they were able to come here in May. For more events. This, we were approached by the AACL to partner with them to do a Cranes for Ukraine program. Again, another way of getting the message of peace and the needs of Ukraine out into the community. And we go to churches, and the idea is to have 1,000 cranes for each city in Sebastopol with the Ukrainian sister city. And so there's 3 of us, Santa Rosa, Sebastopol, the city of Sonoma. And then present the cranes at some point to somebody who haven't got there yet. But again, it's a symbolic showing of our support for Ukraine. Here's some more. Oh, another film fundraiser that the Rialto did. The Rialto has just been fabulous. That's one projects. Another, so this past 2 weeks now, I guess it was the 1-year anniversary of the invasion. We had 2 groups come to us and say we wanted to fundraise. So one of them was Yoga for Peace, and the other was the 2-acre wood. And between those 2 projects, we raised $10,000. We didn't even have to do anything. We just said thank you. And then, so in the last year, we have raised over $70,000. And Steve can tell you what we're spending it on.
It's really been an amazing year of just an outpouring of community support for our friends in Ukraine in this terrible time of need. So I thought I'd try to fill in some of the gaps about what the heck we're doing with this money. Initially, we tried to funnel money to international relief organizations that had infrastructure on the ground where we knew the money would be used to benefit people. And as time went on, we started to shift our focus to attempt to get the resources directly to our sister city, Rotary, to help the tremendous number of people displaced from all over Ukraine who ended up there. You can imagine in a town the size of Sebastopol, if all of a sudden there were 2,500 displaced people who were here, who had no immediate hope of returning from where they came and needed all the infrastructure to take care of their daily life. So we, with Svetlana, who's up at the upper right-hand corner there, we've been able to establish channels to get money directly to Ukraine and to distribute it for whatever needs they identify. We've really trusted the people we know to direct us how these funds will be used. And initially, they went to provide bedding for hundreds of people who had arrived there and had a place to lie down, but didn't have something to pull over. So that was one of the initial things. Here's Patricia mentioned the tremendous number of connections that have come about. This slide reminds us all about the power of citizen diplomacy. Sister cities were established to leverage the concept of citizen diplomacy. So on this slide, if I can use this, Here. Maybe I can't, so in to the left of center of this slide is one of the young families who's here in Sebastopol with two twin girls who came from Italy. And the story of their journey here has to do with connections that we have with friends in Chikrin. And what you don't see here, you see Vlad and you see his two 8-year-old twin daughters. What you don't see there is Natasha. Natasha was Vlad's wife, the mother of the twin girls, who unfortunately died a year and a half ago. Natasha is someone who we all knew well here in Sebastopol, who came with a group called Open World. And she acted as a facilitator for these groups. And was here many times, so we got to know her quite well. And when I was in Kyiv in 2011, my wife Patty and I slept on Vlad and Natasha's bed, or at least slept in the kitchen. And she helped us in many ways. Vlad and the girls did not know the Burko family in Chikrin, but we did, and we knew them. And the Cherma family here who hosted them was instrumental in trying to get them here, and those resources came together to help get them to Poland to make the connections that we had both in Chikrin and Sebastopol, and eventually get them here. So it's one of the stories of sister cities and the power of citizen diplomacy, very much like everything that Rotary does too. As time goes on, we've shifted some of our focus to equipping what are called invincibility centers. So the government of Ukraine decided to establish invincibility centers in all communities that would provide a place for people to charge devices, to have some electricity, to have warm drink, to have a warm place to be, as the Russian war effort was directed more and more toward targeting infrastructure. And one of the biggest needs we've had through the last few months is generators. In Chikrin, which is not part of the combat zone, for months and months and months now, they have 2 or 3 hour periods every single day when we have no electricity. And so a great focus has been to provide generators and to provide other comfort items that can be used in these invincibilities. You can imagine when you all have children and grandchildren who are at an age where having devices and having electricity, having that comfort is so important. And you know, something that brings a smile to a child's face or to an adult's face in the terrible time is really important. All people who have showed up in Chikrin need a way to live, and one of the things we started to provide for them were stoves and power banks and other things that provide the necessities of life. And here's one of those displays of people with one of the stoves that we were able to provide. And you can see, if you look at this picture and just reflect on what you see, the general lifestyle is not of the same standard that we're used to. And so when you add being war torn and not having water, not having power, it just multiplies that. devastation. Here's, one of the generator requests we got was for the hospital. We eventually supplied generators for the invincibility centers, for nursery schools, for kindergartens, for the hospital, for the medical clinic, for the city water well. It's been a tremendous need, and we've been lucky to have the community outpouring to allow us to try to help with that. I want to just transition into a few of the things that we have going on an ongoing basis that are a little bit more uplifting. Uplifting thing. On your tables, you have a flyer that talks about our hosting of an open world delegation from Ukraine. It will come here at the end of September this year. Open World is a program that is sponsored by the Congressional Office for International Leadership. Brings professionals from developing nations to the United States to study democratic processes and other topics that will benefit them as they return to their native countries. The group that's coming here in September will be studying developing child and family counseling networks, especially in times of distress. You can imagine the 2,000 people have shown up in Chikrin have some emotional baggage, some emotional distress that they're going to have to work through, and there's not a robust network of counseling services. So there will be a group of 5 professionals, a facilitator and a translator who come here in September to study that topic, and Sebastopol World Friends will put together a program to highlight different agencies and different programs that provide those services, so that hopefully they'll start to learn ways that they can bring those resources together and provide for the people that they have for need. So our meeting is to have people who have connections. Someone here has a connection with someone who provides child and family counseling services, works for an agency that does that, and who brought together resources at the time of wildfire floods, who might have expertise and resources that we can connect with to help these delegates understand how we do those things. We really need to hear from you. And we'll need host families, and we'll need drivers, and it's a tremendously fulfilling experience to be associated with these folks who come here for just 10 to 12, and sometimes 14 days, who really have their eyes open. Almost all people who've never been outside of Ukraine, who've never traveled on an airplane, who've never been to this country, and they just have their heads explode with the power of volunteerism and all we do. So the other thing with them, we Sebastopol World Friends has had a friendship dinner for many years. This year we're doing a friendship celebration, but during the pandemic we did a friendship dinner online where everyone here got their sushi and borscht. The event is where sushi and borscht come together. They got their sushi and borscht, and then we all joined together online. It was very successful. It brings
minds together, once again, our Japanese friends and our Ukrainian friends. And it will take place this year on April 23rd at St. Stephen's. And then we use mostly the outdoor space, and once again, sushi and borscht will come together, not with a formal dinner, but with a more walk around social time. We'll have taiko drummers and Ukrainian dancers, and it's always a very fun event. So we're here to take questions.
Well, thank you very much. We are a bit short on time for questions right now. Maybe we could just have a couple, and then we need to move on. Okay, thank you. Oh, so I don't. Thank you very much, Rotary Club. Okay. So do we have any questions today? Or is, right,
I'm fascinated with the double link frame. And so is there similar support coming from Japan?
Hold on, that's a great question. That's really a great question. I wish I could say that there is tremendous support from Japan. Something it really illustrates one of the interesting cultural differences between we as Americans, maybe our friends in Ukraine and Japan. In Japan, the sister-city relationship is very much a formal city program. It's not nearly as free-flowing and free-form as what we do. And so our friends in Japan have provided some support, but that kind of support is just, it's just it's completely out of their mindset. So they step a little bit out of their cultures, out of their cultural safety zone, but providing $60,000 or $70,000 in the community to send to another country is just kind of out of their experience.
great, thank you so much.
Ron. I got the winner. Why, yeah. Just go on.
Go back and start our program. I think I better see the end. We'll have a quick review.
I want to invite everybody to pick up one of these. They're on the table over there as you're leaving. Put them in your window. We still.
Okay, great. And you just had a quick review of what we just did. Thank you so much. Okay, we are going to have a drawing for a lot of money, yes, and see if they can get the red marble. Very few marbles left.
They palm that way. Going on a ski vacation.
Yeah.
Ski vacation, coming up. Ski vacation.
Okay, here comes the money, you gotta walk. Wow. Lucky Jim. That's very. Oh, wow, it's Karen. Wonderful. Okay. Bill.
All right, I asked Sal last week to do the joke, obviously he said yes and didn't show up. So we're right here downtown on the bus. Lady on the bus over 80. Gets on the bus and driver looks and says, "Lady, that's the ugliest baby I've ever seen." He's pretty upset. He gets back, sits down, and says, "The guy next to him, it's gonna insult me." Like, if you're insulted, what you're in, at least your mind to the bus driver, and I'll hold your monkey.
That was fun. Okay, time to sing Happy Trails. Okay, Joe, sing on.
Do we need